due to my selfish desires or me thinking I'm living my own truth. There is nothing positive that comes out of what he just said he was going to do and watch his friend burn to death if that was his friend. Alright, so I know it's been a while since I recorded a video, or I did a video, about maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I have no idea how long it's been. Just trying to get things a little bit situated and done. But we're back here. I wanted to do not a reaction video, but we're going to be doing a caution talk video. We're going to have some fun. We're going to watch something a little bit different, more political, but he comes up and he talks to people and protesters. So I don't really know what the topic's going to be exactly and what he brings up because I haven't watched it. But this is a trans ally rally that he spoke at, and he let one of the protesters up, which I actually like. I really do enjoy seeing the fact that they're allowing the protesters to come up, and he has a good conversation with them. So we're gonna see how this goes. Let's just have some fun, and let's get into it.
Political writer Michael Knowles spoke at the University of Utah's College of Social Work to the excitement of many students, but to the outrage of others.
Well, obviously. I love it when they say transphobia, because that has nothing to do with like us being afraid of them. It's because it's a moral issue. So that my favorite part is that part right there. Transphobia. A phobia is to be scared of. Like you're scared of spiders. You don't want to go near them. No, I don't care about that. It's the fact that I think it's morally wrong and it does not uplift the righteousness of God. That's about it. Now I'm gonna say this right now as we watch this. Michael Knowles does get pushed into kind of like some corners or whatever to answer more about the Bible or, talk about God, who Christ is, how God created the universe and humankind. He gets into that, but he doesn't go any farther. So to me, when I go talk to people, I want to direct the people's mind and their eyes to the Lord, to God, the creator of all the universe, not basis on on us, on what we think. Well, it's what we see in society. Well, I don't care about society. Why should I obey it? Why should I ought to obey this rule or this law, this moral law? Why ought should I? So it's a moral issue. It's not the fact that I'm afraid of it. It's a moral issue. It's a moral law that's being broken. So what we're gonna see about this.
Is it a safe place for your conservative students?
Of course.
How would they know that coming in here when there's a sign that literally says they are not welcome?
Now, why on earth would conservative students...
That's a college? No way. That's the inside of a college? If that is the inside of a college, then you know exactly what that college is pushing. It's not pushing to make people smarter or graduate with an actual diploma that actually matters. No, it's pushing that idea. If you walk into a college and its corridor is surrounded with gay pride flags all over the place, like this. These are probably the founders of that college too. I'm mind blown already. Dang. And this is why I'm homeschooling. This is why I'm homeschooling. I'm not doing this.
Does not feel welcome on a public university campus.
From what I know about him, he has promoted the annihilation of trans people.
Annihilation of trans people. He's what? Now, I've watched a lot of Michael Knowles shows and like episodes talking about trans things. He has never openly said anything about the trans people. Please ask. Give me an example.
Sure.
I don't want to say it for sure, but I'm going to say it because I want to misinform people that watch my video or that video. Yeah. See, that's what happens. They're against misinformation, but they're going to spread information when they're not sure about what the answer is. I love it.
Did you catch the lecture by any chance? Did you get to watch it?
No, sir.
No.
You want to give me a brief rundown?
It was like probably a 20-minute lecture, but basically my point was America is the land of opportunity. We're
the land of freedom.
The land of freedoms, and so that's a lovely thing and can be a one.
Too much freedom becomes tyranny. Remember that quote right there.
He might be able to look a little bit more like a woman, but he can't actually become a woman.
So say if that's who he truly believes she is, you know what I'm saying?
That really just that confused my mind right there. What if he truly believed what she truly was? I'm like,
what's the problem with that in your mind?
That he's wrong about that.
Why is that wrong to you, though?
Well, it's not that it's wrong to me. I perceive that it is wrong because I have faculties of reason, and we all have eyes. You can see like a big dude in a dress, is that probably a man, right? So, and also because I have faculties of reason, I know that a man can't actually become a woman. He won't be able to give birth. His chromosomes won't magically change. He won't have had the development from the moment of his conception, certainly through his childhood and teens, actually to be a woman. So it's not that I have anything against the guy. It's not that I wish him ill. Quite the opposite. I hope that he can flourish, but he's not going to flourish by pretending to be something other than what he is.
Do you necessarily have a problem with a man identifying as a woman, as of like a man truly believing he is a woman?
Well, both would be wrong and unfortunate, right? But in the case of public life, if a guy has some crazy idea in his head, but it doesn't affect.
So I'm going to state this right now. What is truth? So John 14:6 says, Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. The word truth right there meant reality. It's the same word that was used to describe what reality is. That's what the word is. Truth in the Greek meant reality. Truth also meant to unhide and hiding nothing. So as Christians, when we believe that Jesus is the way, the truth, and no one comes to the Father except for through me, we actually believe that. Jesus unveiled the truth through him, and he also did that in the Old Testament and in the words he spoke. So when we look at reality, you can obviously see there are certain things that have to go a certain way, that there is no way to go the opposite, like gravity. When you go up, you go down. There's no third genders. And if somebody is born with an extra finger, an extra toe, or something, we obviously know something went wrong. Because how? Everybody has 10 fingers. Everyone has 10 toes. So if someone is born with 2 heads and everybody else is walking around with 1 head, something went wrong. DNA, everything. And you can do tests to figure out. So when people are born with extra body parts and are called transgenders or intersex people, they can go to the doctor and get some tests run to see what they actually are. So it's not like they're both genders. They can go and see what they actually are. And they have to do that even with medication. So even an intersex person has to go to the doctor and get tests done, because guess what? Certain medicine only works on women. Certain medicine only works on men. So the person obviously has to go and get tests done to match his biological sex. There's no escaping it. But people now have taken it a whole nother step and said, well, if intersex people exist, then I can be intersex by forcing it. So instead of being born that way, when I hear the person say, I was born this way, I think it's utter bullcrap. Intersex people were born that way, because they were. Transgender people were not born that way. They forced it upon themselves to gain the same rights as the intersex people, which I don't understand, because the intersex people will obviously come out, talk about their experience as it, and it's difficult. It's difficult for them to go and live like that. They deal with a lot of stuff. So for trans people to make fun of that, and I'm going to say make fun of it because it is making fun of it. When trans people make fun of the intersex people by making it just a identity in a costume, it's a real big insult with people that actually were born that way and have those problems. I want to mention this too. Truth is not simply whatever works. In reality, lies can appear to work, but they are still lies and not the truth.
So then I guess I asked, my follow-up is there a problem with gender-neutral bathrooms? Or, like, what's the feeling on that?
Those are called family bathrooms, and be my guest to use that bathroom. If you are a man that transitioned into a woman and you want to use the women's bathroom, use the family bathroom where anybody can go in. But when there's bathrooms specifically for that gender, male or female, use the one that you were biologically born into.
They still have all the appendages, and they're practically still men, because they are still men. And so the question then is, who has a more legitimate claim to a right?
But if a man truly believes like he is transgender,
he's not understanding that it's not a feeling. It's not, oh, I feel like this. It's the fact that it is what it is. So he's okay, so I'm going to say this. One side believes in the truth and reality. The other side believes in non-fiction fantasy world. Well, if I want this and I feel like this and this and this, then I'm going to be able to do this. When we look at it and say, no, it doesn't matter if you think that, and this is kind of the road that he's going down. Michael Knowles is making it straight out clear. It doesn't matter if you think you are this. you are still a male with bodily features that dominate a woman. You still have the urges of a man, even though you say you felt like you transition or you feel like a woman. You are biologically a male. You will always feel the things of a male, so you'll always have the urges to do stuff. It doesn't change. And he's not realizing that. He's not seeing the difference between fact, reality is what you see, and fantasy world and what you can imagine.
I don't, I guess, see a problem.
Well, what if the woman doesn't truly believe that he's a woman because he's not a woman? Doesn't the woman have some right to reality?
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't believe in reality. I'm going to state this right now. The biggest thing right now is that Michael Knowles is kind of just going in a huge circle. He's going in a circle, not going anywhere with this conversation because he does not know what to say, what to bring up. He just kind of brings it up. And obviously the guy's thinking about this. But what's really going to change the mind is, I would say bringing the gospel and bringing actual truth and what God has created the universe, how he did it. But he's just going into this circular thing. Like, we've been sitting here for, I don't know, how long now? 5 minutes now. Yeah, 5 minutes, and they haven't talked about anything else besides that. Okay? So Romans 1:18 through 20, the wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and the wickedness of people who suppress the truth. So whoever suppressed the truth, who has suppressed the reality, who suppress what is unhidden, you can see what it is, who suppress the truth by their wickedness, since what may be known about God is plain to them. So we're talking about the unbeliever. So this is the materialistic stuff that we see now.
I mean, I guess I couldn't say reality because what is reality?
Dang! There we go. Michael Knowles, you have opened him up to ask an important question. What is reality? Let's see if Michael Knowles gives a biblical response, because that's what this guy needs. He needs Jesus.
It's what we perceive, is it not?
No.
Some people incorrectly perceive reality, but you're right that it is a thing that we perceive that is outside of us.
It's an individual thought process.
No, well,
Objective versus subjective. I would have went into that with him. Okay, so I'm gonna read you the rest of this verse actually. So Romans 1:18 through 20. I know I read a little bit of it. I meant to finish it, but I didn't. So the wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and the wickedness of people who suppress the truth by the wickedness. Since what may be known by God about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them, which is funny because God has made it plain. It made it obvious. He's made it right in their face. Since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his internal power and divine nature has been seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. Dang. Wow. So people are without excuse because God has made his attributes and invisible qualities known to them. So these are qualities, again, I want to mention this. These are qualities that an unbeliever can know. So these are qualities in which they do not need the Holy Spirit in order to understand. So why don't we use what they can understand to drive them to the things they can't understand? Talk to them about reality, the world, how God created the world in 6 days. Those are things that people can understand. Why? Because it's stuff that they can look out and see, physically see, look up online and see. And if they get more convinced on that, they ask more questions about God and who he is, then we fall into the invisible qualities of God that we see, like morality and objective and subjective. Like, what is love? Okay, so what is love? That's a good question. So love is patience, love is kind, does not envy, does not boast, is not proud, does not dishonor others, does not self-seek, it is not easily angered, and it depends, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth, reality, truth, what is unhidden. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. So that is what love is. But their definition of love is selfishness, is based off their own way of thinking and what they think is best.
Since we grant that there is such a thing as reality, which is objective, and that we perceive it, and that's individual, and some of us can perceive things a little differently, and sometimes things, go a little funny with our perception.
That only happens. Again, reality is reality. It's not what I think reality is. How we look at things, it doesn't matter how I look at things. Okay, reality is what is known, what is true, what is to be known. It is already a set quality or a set of rules that do not change. The things that do not change. That is what reality is. It's an unchanging thing. It does not matter if I look at and I perceive it as this, and that creates reality.
There is such a thing as reality, which is objective, and that we perceive it, and that's individual. And some of us can perceive things a little differently, and sometimes things, go a little funny with our perception. But if we grant that the reality still exists.
But what is the reality grounded on? What is reality grounded on? This is the thing about like the Daily Wire, Michael Knowles, Ben Shapiro, and etc. They don't ever ask these questions. We talk about reality and what is true and what is good, but why is it good? Why is it true? What is these oughts and the truth built on? What foundation? They're not talking about the actual foundation. That is the most important thing. Scripture, who Christ is, as God and as man. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. All things were made by him, through him, and for him. Let's talk about that. That's reality. We were made in his image, man and woman. That's reality. Because these people's hearts are not going to be changed based off the perception of what reality is. And how we perceive reality is what makes reality. Even though it's objective, it doesn't matter. This guy's going to leave and he's not going to really think about it. He's just going to say, well, it really didn't convince me.
Either the reality is going to be the basis of our lawmaking and the rules that govern society.
But what's the foundation?
Or it's just kind of a battle of preferences, right? And so if we agree that there is such a thing as this objective reality, and if we agree that, the woman is a woman and the man, he might perceive himself to be a woman, but, he is a man.
Why is he a man? Why is he a woman? Or why is she a woman? Sorry, I'm getting so messed up because I'm listening to this crap ideology. But why is he a man? What makes him a man? Because he was born a man? Because you feel like it? That's how I perceive reality? What makes him a man? Why is there two genders? Because we're made in his image. And in his image, God made us, man and woman. As plain as that. As plain as simple as that. Not the fact of evolutionary process of taking billions and billions of years to get to this point. If you want to support the channel, go down below, hit the link down in the description, get some Goober Can't Reason merch. Atheism Fails merch. Support the channel.
When I was 16, I was living in Boston, Massachusetts with my parents. I had gone into a lot of drugs, you name it, whatever, stupid behavior. My parents had me sent to Utah to a wilderness therapy camp, which is where Moab.
Yeah.
The Moab desert. I was out there for 11 and a half weeks, 77 days, something like that, right? And they taught us all about therapy and blah, blah, blah. And you should accept people for who they are, regardless of what they think.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. I think that we should accept people for who they really are, not...
Am I the only one that's thinking that he just opened up a door and Michael Knowles just walked in, slammed the door shut? The guy just opened up right now, and he talked about his path and how he went to this wilderness survival thing because he was getting involved and he was a bad kid. Michael should go deeper. Sin is a heart problem, and you're not going to solve the problem unless you deal with the heart. Pain, hurt, confusion, abuse, whatever it was, it led to this guy acting bad, doing bad things, doing drugs, to the point where he had to be sent to camp for 11 weeks, wilderness camp, whatever it is, and his parents sent him there. And Michael Knowles just literally just walked by and slammed the door shut.
We were told if someone wants to accept and be who they think they are, or who they actually are, we're supposed to sit there and be I agree with that.
But what if you disagree?
Self-defeating right there. If somebody said that, I feel like, I'm a murderer today, you're not going to sit there and agree with that person and say, you know what, I support that right there. I support that. I feel like a robber today. Would you guys support me and how I feel about that and not stop me if I try to rob somebody? You're not going to sit there and be like, I agree, man. I agree. You go ahead and rob that place and I'll just stand back and I will support every decision that you make, even if you decide to, shoot the clerk. I applaud you, man. You are who you are, and your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth. I applaud you. That is not how it works. If a man is walking off a cliff, you're going to warn him. You're not going to applaud him and encourage him to continue walking. Oh man, there's a cliff right there, but he seems to really like walking, and I don't want to get in his way because I want to support him and how he wants to be fit and stay in good shape, and I want to support that he is who he is. He likes to walk. Good job. And he continues walking, he falls off the cliff. Oh man, I should have warned him. But I saw that he really liked to walk, and I didn't want to stop him. Now, I know that's a stupid comparison, but you understand where I'm coming from. A drug addict, any person that you want to fill in that place, you're not going to applaud that person, accept what he's doing to himself, and be okay with it. You're going to warn him. You're going to be there. And if you actually truly love that person, you're going to stand on the truth and you're going to say, hey, you're doing this to yourself. I'm here for you. I want to help you. What can I do? Because this is hurting you. And I can see the path that you're taking. That's it.
So you agree that I'm a black man?
I couldn't tell you that you aren't, but I couldn't tell you that you are.
Well, I thought you said you have to affirm whatever I say. That's what you were taught in the therapy.
Do I agree with therapy? No, but...
Well, there you go. You say, yeah, I don't really agree with what I was taught. Because they were telling you to lie. And that's wrong to lie. We know that's kind of like a basic one, right? Is it's wrong to tell a lie.
It's wrong to tell a lie, but a lie you believe, is that truly a lie?
Absolutely. Absolutely, it's still a lie. Truth is truth. Even if you do believe it and you tell yourself over and over again, I believe this, I believe it, even though it's a lie, I believe it, I believe it, that is some psychotic stuff. Oh, I'm going to pop these pills and I believe it's going to help me. Pop some more. I believe it's going to help me. Pop some more. I believe it's going to help me. You're in the hospital overdose and you just take more and more. I believe it's going to help me even though it's a lie. That is dangerous. That is a mindset that you don't want to have. Self-inflicting harm or believe in a lie so much that you deem it as true. So that is a bad mindset right there. That is a bad worldview. Imagine if everybody lived that way. Your truth is your truth. My truth is my truth. And even if it's a lie, I'm going to believe in that lie so much that it's true to me. So right now, it's showing that he's not grasping. He's not grasping that there is an ultimate reality, an ultimate objective standard by God who created him in his image, male and female. And Michael Knowles is refusing to go down that road because he doesn't understand that. He can't fix this guy's heart. And this guy has been hurt. Some way or form or shape, this guy has had some problems. Some trauma. It's a heart problem. You can see it. This is the problem with Michael Knowles. It is.
You know, sometimes the road to hell is paved with good intentions and things just don't work out. And so if you know now that was a bad lesson, maybe you learned other good lessons there, but that was a bad one and it's bad to tell a lie, then shouldn't you just live according to that true statement?
I think I should live according to my morals. And so if my morals tell me not to be unjust to the people I call family, right? And so I don't take the word like family.
So unjust. If I'm called to not be unjust to my family and the people that I love and have in my circle, if I'm called to be not to be unjust, that also means that you're going to what? Tell them the truth. Because if you lie to yourself and you look at someone destroying themselves and you lie to yourself saying, it doesn't matter what I say, that's how he wants to live, that's unjust. It's like watching a kid cut himself and you're sitting there watching him cut himself. You know, if that's good for him, it's good for me. I don't want to get involved. That's unjust. That's not you loving them. That's not you being tolerant of them. That's you being unjust. That's you being unloving, unkind. Letting someone inflict harm against themselves is you being selfish and ignorant of the truth. We're called to be the voice of the voiceless, to help the needy, to love one another. And guess what? Guess what? The Bible tells us, love others the way we treat ourselves. Love God, love others. If we love God, we're going to take care of our temple. If we love God, we're going to judge righteously against what? Evil and unjust. We're called to do that. So when we see pain, affliction, hurt, confusion, Christians should be the ones that come up and say, this is how it should be done, or this is what I'm going to do to help. Hey, I see you're struggling. I'm here to help. Or you see some act being done and it's completely evil. Christians should be the ones that stand up to the unjust because we're called to.
I wouldn't tell a friend, no, you're wrong about it. And because I'm your friend, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. If my friend truly believed that, say she thought she was a man, I'm not gonna go up against her and be like, no, you're not a man.
Yeah, that's what
I'm gonna support you 3,000 of the way through.
So I think I did accurately interpret what you were saying, but that's what I'm questioning. Because if you know, you just said she's a she, right? She's a woman, but she thinks she's a man. Then if you say you are a man, actually, then you're telling her something that you know isn't true, and you're encouraging her to live out of accord with reality. And you might be doing it for the best of intentions because you think it'll protect her feelings or something. But what I'm saying is, isn't the more caring, the more loving thing to do to tell your friend the truth even when it's hard?
I don't know if you've heard the term ride or die for my friends. And so if they truly believe something, I'm gonna back that 100% of the time.
So if
you're not gonna die for a lie. You're not going to die for a lie. You're not. If you know that it's a lie, you're not going to die for it. And you can claim that you would, but you're not going to. We're messing with two categories of people. People that know the reality and people that are confused about it, obviously. That is the problem with taking truth and reality and God out of the schools and in public schools. That's the problem with it. And what's taking over these programs now? You got colleges that were created by Christians. You have schools that were created by Christians. You have libraries that were created by Christians. Hospitals that were created by Christians. And they're now doing what? They've rejected the truth. They've rejected reality. They have rejected Christ. Now they're promoting lies. They're promoting transgenderism. They're promoting sex reassignment surgery for children. We have teachers and everyone promoting these sexual education books being promoted in kindergarten all the way through high school. Being promoted. This is what happens when you deny the truth and you get out of line with Christ. And as I always say, it's Christ or chaos. That's it. Those are the two roads that you're going to go down, Christ or chaos. And if you pick chaos, you're going to run into a civilization and a group of people that are going to ultimately destroy themselves because they can't do anything and work together. Whereas the Christians, we can see things and view things as a certain way, knowing that it's right because we also believe in truth and reality. God created the heavens and earth. Okay, God created the earth. There is good and evil. Okay, so there's good things and there's going to be bad things. So it's not my truth versus their truth. Truth is truth. Truth is reality. We have male and female. Guess what? You can't reproduce with the same sex. You have to have the opposite. We know that. That's why all these civilizations that began, they thrived. Population boomed. And then they started practicing sexual immoral activity. And I don't think I have to tell you, society collapsed. And that's in the state of what right now in America we are at. The collapse of America because we're upholding this immoral activity and we're worshiping it.
If a friend jumped off a bridge, you'd do it too?
It depends on the cause. I mean, if we were jumping off the bridge and we were trying to, like that Navy SEAL, that burned himself in front of the Capitol or whatever.
The Marine, the
Marine,
pro-Palestine Marine,
yes,
in front of the Israeli embassy.
Yeah. If my friend were to do that, would I necessarily burn myself? No. Would I be in the crowd with, watching him? Yes, I 100% would.
So he would be alright to watch his friend burn to death. This is the mindset of this guy. This is the mindset of the unbeliever. This guy is alright to sit back in a crowd and watch his friend light himself on fire in front of the Israeli embassy or capital, whatever it was, and watch him burn to death, knowing that he stood for his cause. That's his worldview. And he claims to want to stand for the justice and the love and the tolerance and acceptance of others. Watching somebody burn to death, especially if you're claiming that that person's your friend and you wouldn't personally cause harm on yourself, but if my friend wanted to, I'm going to let him because he believed in what he believed. That is the opposite of just. That is the opposite of love. That is the opposite of acceptance and tolerance and whatever you want to say. That is scary. That is horrible.
You just stand by and let your friend kill himself? It doesn't seem very friendly.
If you wanted to do it for a pro cause, 100% I would.
I'm done. I can't watch the rest of this video. This is the problem with the Daily Wire. This is the problem with Michael Knowles, and I'm going to say it again. You refuse to talk about the ultimate solution, and that is Christ talking about the truth and reality. And with God, there is truth, reality, there's peace, eternal peace. They refuse to talk about it. This guy is confused about what reality is, and he's willing to stand there and watch his friend die and burn to death. Because of what? Because his truth is his truth and my truth is my truth. This is the problem with society now. Michael Knowles, please, when you do these videos anymore, you need to mention and keep your eyes and your ears open to how they're reacting and talking about certain subjects, you need to figure out the heart problem that that individual is facing. That's the only way that we're going to solve this problem, is deal with the heart. Because it is a heart problem. Sin is a heart problem. The devil's got a hold of him somehow in some way. Figure it out, Michael, or stop talking to these teens. Because you just went over the same topic over and over again for 15 minutes, and all of it led to him saying that I would watch my friend burn to death because he's living his truth.
Huh.
And call me messed up with my morals or whatever. If my friend
You are messed up with your morals.
If my friend truly put his heart or her heart or their heart to something, I'm gonna stand behind them 1000% of the time, because that's who I was raised to be.
No. If I loved my family and loved my friends and I did not want them to cause harm because I want to love others the way I want to be treated, I do not want to light myself on fire and commit genocide or death upon others or myself, or inflict harm on others due to my selfish desires or me thinking I'm living my own truth. There is nothing positive that comes out of what he just said he was going to do and watch his friend burn to death if that was his friend. There's nothing true and loving about that. He is alright with terrorism. According to his worldview, he is alright with manslaughter. He is alright with it. Because why? Because if his friends believe truly in their heart that the only way that they're going to show support for whatever is to do this, he's not going to do anything. I'm going to end it with this then. Morality exists. And we know it because of reality. I know that it is wrong to light yourself on fire because you're causing pain for yourself, loved ones, and you're also putting people in danger. Love does not inflict pain. It does not boast. It is not proud. And when you get to the point of being so proud in your ideology that you light yourself on fire, that is a problem. Be my guest to tell me I'm wrong. This guy does not love his friends. He does not love his family. And to claim that you do and say that you would watch your friends burn, jeez, dude, I'm over it.